Welcome back once again, all of my low carb friends, and for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. Today I have another very easy keto recipe for you. Today I am going to show you how to make crunchy keto graham crackers. Now you might have already seen that I do have a graham cracker recipe already on my channel that is made with coconut flour, and that one is very good, very delicious, does get crispy, but it doesn't quite get that crunch that you would get in a traditional graham cracker. And so today we are attempting to make crunchy graham crackers that have that nice crunch that traditional graham crackers have. So, if you want a printable version of this recipe, you can check out my website at janetsdeliciouslowcarbkitchen.com. You can find a printable version of this recipe and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see lots of easy, delicious, low-carb keto recipes, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I put out videos, at least every Wednesday and Saturday. And if you'd like to help support the channel, make sure you scroll down in the description of the video. You'll see some affiliate links. Anytime you purchase anything using those affiliate links, a small portion of your purchase will go to me and help support the channel. So while we do all that, let's get cooking. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees. Line a large baking sheet with parchment paper or a silicone mat and set it aside for a minute. In a large mixer bowl, combine 113 grams or a little over 1 cup of Gluten flour, a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. You want baking soda, not baking powder. I've told you guys before, baking soda is what you need when you want something crunchy. Baking powder gives your baked goods a little bit more of a cakey texture, so baking soda will help with the crunchy part. Add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2½ teaspoons of ground cinnamon. You can adjust this more or less depending on how much of a cinnamon flavor you want in your graham crackers. Sift the dry ingredients all together until everything is fully combined and there are no lumps in the dry ingredients. Then set it aside for a minute. In a separate large mixer bowl, combine 5 tablespoons of slightly softened butter. You do not want this melted, you want it mostly firm. You just want it a little bit softened so it will break up easy with your mixer or your wooden spoon, whatever you're using to stir with. Add 100 grams or around a 1/2 cup of brown sugar substitute of your choice. I'm using Lakanto's brown monk fruit sweetener. You can use whatever brown sugar sweetener you want. I suggest one with an erythritol base. Erythritol, once it's baked and it's cooled, it firms back up, so that does help with the crunchiness. Other sweeteners may not do that, so it may slightly affect your texture a little bit if you use a sweetener that's not erythritol based. Add 1 teaspoon of maple extract and a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. You can adjust these also more or less depending on how dominant of a maple or vanilla flavor you want in your graham crackers, or if you don't want to use 2 different extracts, you can use all maple or all vanilla. That's all up to you. Beat the butter and sweetener combination on low for about 10 seconds or just until your butter starts breaking up a little bit. Increase your speed to medium, then beat on medium speed for about 1 minute or until everything is smooth. If you don't have a standing mixer, you can use a hand mixer or you can use a wooden spoon. It'll take a little bit more elbow grease with a wooden spoon because this is going to be a thicker dough, but it still can be done. After your butter is smooth, scrape down the sides of the bowl and push everything to the center of your bowl. Then turn your mixer on to low and gradually add your dry ingredients to your wet ingredients. Just do this a little bit at a time and allow the dry ingredients to mix in with the wet ingredients each time you add it. If you need to, you can stop and scrape down the sides of the bowl. You want to make sure that all of the dry ingredients get beat into the wet ingredients. Once your dry ingredients is all added, then increase your speed to medium-low. Beat on medium-low for about 30 to 40 seconds, just until all of the dry ingredients are fully moist and the mixture is crumbly. Add 1 large cold egg. You do want this cold. The cold egg will help keep the dough firm, which will help for a crispy graham cracker. Beat the egg in on low just until you start seeing the egg combining with the other ingredients. Then increase your speed to medium-low and again beat on medium-low for another 30 to 40 seconds or until a smooth, thick dough begins to form. Now at first this might seem like it's not going to come together very well, but continue to let your mixer run on medium-low, and you should start seeing your dough coming together and forming a ball inside the bottom of your mixer bowl. Once your dough is formed, again, if you need to, scrape down the sides of the bowl and then form your dough into a smooth ball. Massage the dough ball in your hands just for about 20 seconds or so. You're just wanting to make sure that your dough is smooth and that it's going to be holding together well. Line a clean work surface with parchment paper or a silicone mat. Then place your dough onto your work surface. Cover the dough with another piece of parchment paper. Then roll or press the dough out to a very thin square. The thinner you roll out your dough, the more crisp that your graham cracker is going to be. It might be easier to divide the dough into 2 or 3 portions and then roll out each one of the portions because it is a thicker dough. I use my tortilla press and just kind of flatten it a little bit, don't necessarily push down all the way, and then I'll roll it out a little bit more to create a square. Just think about the thickness that you want your graham cracker. These don't expand or puff up or anything at all. So whatever thickness you roll your dough out to, that's going to be the thickness that your graham cracker is going to be once it's baked. Once the dough is all rolled out, then use a pizza cutter or a sharp knife and cut your dough into your desired size squares or rectangles, depending on what size you want your graham crackers. I do mine probably about a 2 by 2 inch square. Once the graham crackers are cut, place them on your prepared baking sheet. Make sure you leave a little bit of space between each one of the graham crackers so they can get an even cook all the way around the edges. Use a fork and poke 2 rolls of small holes into the center of each one of the crackers. This just gives your graham crackers the traditional look that graham crackers have, so you don't necessarily have to do it. But if you're wanting your cracker to look like a traditional graham cracker, then poke the holes. Place the graham crackers in your preheated oven. Bake at 400 degrees for about 6 minutes or until the graham crackers are firm. They're not going to be completely crisped up yet, but they should be firm and beginning to get crispy. Your times are going to vary depending on the size and the thickness of your graham crackers, so check them at 6 minutes. If it doesn't seem like they're firm yet, then just cook them for a minute or 2 longer. You don't want to cook them too long because you don't want to burn the edges. Once the graham crackers are cooked, remove them from your oven. Allow them to cool on the pan for about 10 minutes or until they begin to become crispy. After 10 minutes, transfer the crisp graham crackers to a wire rack and allow them to cool completely. They will continue to crisp up as they cool. I usually let mine sit on the wire rack for a good 20 to 30 minutes. I just want to make sure they're fully dried and fully crispy. All right, here we are with my delicious looking graham cracker. Smells good. I can smell that cinnamon and brown sweetener. Smells yummy. Nice and firm. Hear that? Nice and firm, the way it should be. I actually made these a couple days ago because I wanted to see how well they would store. Because with my coconut flour graham crackers, as good as they tasted and they came out nice and crisp, once I stored them overnight in an airtight container, they started to lose their crunchiness, which is typical with coconut flour because there's so much moisture that you have to add to the flour, that it really doesn't stay crispy once it's all sealed up. And so that was the downside of the coconut flour graham crackers. These, however, have stored very well. They're still just as firm filling as they were the first day. But of course, as we always say, the most important thing is how they taste, and especially in this case, if they crunch. We've been doing great on our crunchy recipes so far, so hopefully this one's just as good. So let's see. Well, they're yummy. Yes, definitely. Yes, those are very yummy. Very yummy. You heard that crunch that you're supposed to have it with the graham cracker. These would taste great with my keto marshmallow cream or my keto marshmallows, or just in any recipe that needs graham crackers. You can even use these for a graham cracker crust in your cheesecakes or your pies. Definite thumbs up. Yes, yes, yes. You can eat these immediately. If you do have any leftovers, store them in an airtight container at room temperature for up to 1 week. Eat and enjoy. And that's our recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you click that thumbs up like button, click that subscribe button, leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.